And one. Hello, welcome to the RazCast. My name is Raz Bora, and we have the fresh baked goods here.
Hello.
And today we have some hot ones for you, aka hot takes. So if you're brand new to the RazCast, welcome. YouTube, hello. You guys have seen me a couple times. If you haven't, welcome on in. I do need to get like our names, I think, at the top of the
Yeah, you need a little more fanfare, I think, instead of just the Discord.
Yeah, that's probably like maybe like a little more aesthetically pleasing, I suppose. Oh, look, I have this one too. Wait, why do I
I
have
know. I
two?
need, I need to cut like clips, and I'll make it look good. But it's just funny seeing our faces, just like
I know
a
it's so
Discord call. It feels
it's
very
so
worky.
funny. But welcome. The Razcast is a L takes incoming probably.
Yeah.
Um, so the Razcast is a weekly podcast. We have been off the last 2 weeks or so. Also, YouTube a little behind on some of the uploads, so I've been busy. I'm sorry, but it's at 1 p.m. Eastern every single Saturday, and we have some awesome stuff planned in the future. So hopefully, if everything works out, it should continue to go ahead and be awesome. But today is a interesting podcast. So Fresh Baked Goods had an
Are we
amazing.
just are we just gonna jump right into it,
We
or like?
we
I mean,
have to, man.
is there
We
anything else
have
you want to
to.
talk about? I feel like we haven't done this in a while. I don't know. I mean, did
I
we?
guess we can talk about like where the game is right now, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so I haven't read all the patch notes, but I read some of them. I don't know if you can kind of go over like what is it? I guess it's technically like 15 or no, it's 14. 14.1 is essentially what the patch is. I don't know what it is.
What patch? What are you talking
Well,
about?
there was a patch probably like what, like a week or two ago now.
Oh yeah. I mean, that didn't change much though. What'd that do? It's just weapon
Uh,
sway and a
so
little bit decrease on the run speed acceleration.
I guess you could call it 14.01 because it
Yeah,
literally just
there's gonna
fixed
be
all the
more.
issues. Yeah,
There'll be more too. Like I don't think we're getting update 15 for a while. So I think it'll be update 14.1, point 2, whatever.
yeah.
I think there's gonna be a lot of that coming.
I don't know. It's just, I mean, a lot has happened since the watch party for the update 15 reveal. Um, but yeah, so I think that one of the most notable things in the recent patch was the fix for the weapon sway, as Fresh mentioned, for the British faction. If you didn't know, which I find it hard to not notice, was the weapon sway was insane with the British weapons. That's been adjusted to be more in line with all the other weapons. And then the other major thing is they didn't fix the running speed, quote unquote. They didn't change it. All they did was adjust it. So now, rather than you running top speed initially, they put a slight ramp up period. So you get up to speed and it takes a little longer, but your top
It's like
speed is still the
it's like
same.
1 second. It's not a lot.
Yeah. And
And
it
yeah.
only happens when you run like 90 degrees or if you're just from a dead stop and running. Like if you're turning, they try to prevent the zigzagging. It only does it if it's 90 degrees or more. But if you're zigzagging at like 20 to 30 degrees back and forth, you're still top speed. So,
Yeah. It didn't change too much. They did do a good job on the being able to not really cheese the dolphin diving. So I give them props to that.
yep.
Like if you can no it's no longer as cheesable as it was before. So they did a good job on that. And then
Another huge thing, not part of the patch, but this is just more recent, is they have gone ahead and partnered with some server owners. We're amongst those. And we're working on a fix for the server lag. This is PC only. Hopefully, it'll be ported over to console as well eventually. But if you haven't noticed, which again, I'm sure it's very difficult to not notice, there's major server lag. So what they're working on is they put a patch on about what, like US servers and like five European
oh, it's
servers.
like 3 and 3. It's not a
Oh
lot.
yeah. So
Yeah,
it's like
it's
six
yeah.
altogether.
Yeah, and
And
they try to get different providers. Like I know they're using us, which is GTX, Glows, which is like low MS, and then OP's on GTX as well. But then I think they have a couple European ones on G Portal.
yeah. So they're partnering with the server owners, they're partnering with the service providers to try to target and fix a lot of the lagging, the stuttering everyone's getting. So ideally, it'll go ahead and fix a lot of the issues. I have been playing for about 2 hours already. This is the first time I played in quite a while. And I've noticed quite a bit of difference. Like, I mean,
Yeah, dude.
usually by this time, I notice major issues. I was doing infantry and I did tank, and I didn't notice anything. So I
Yeah,
know you played.
I played yesterday. I got the occasional stuttering with infantry, like here and there, which is like it is what it is. That's been around for a while, but this wasn't supposed to fix that because that's not server side. But I got zero rubber banding. People were playing for like over like 6 hours. So they didn't have a single issue with rubber banding. So it's looking very promising so far. So that's really cool to see because that was that was really bad.
Yeah,
So
like
I'm glad they're
I've never
fixing
seen
that.
that bad before. So
Yeah.
if you
So
do want to support that, what is it? It's our server, so Saucy Muffins, Beer House, Squid
Glows
Cafe,
West,
Glows West,
and OP are the
and
US servers that have it.
Outpost server. So
Yeah.
if you do have time to go ahead and play and try to help make the game better, check those 3 servers out, and
Feedback,
hopefully,
let them know.
yeah, like hopefully just keep seeding those servers, get those servers running, and let's like get as much data as possible to try to make the game better.
Yeah,
So
because not
we'll,
not only are we seeing it from a player point of view, they're keeping track of a lot of stats on the back end, so
yeah.
they'll be seeing a lot more than we are just playing it.
And like I don't know, maybe you can give some more insight into the back end, like with GTX and kind of some of our frustrations with it.
I mean, it's just typical IT shit. To go back, it's like so when all the server shit started happening in the past couple updates, the rubber banding, the lag, whatever. This was an ongoing thing for all server owners. All of us would reach out to like GTX or whoever you're using and be like, "Yo, your server is fucking whack. Like, can we like fix this?" And 90% of the time, they come back and say, "It's not us. It's not us. Like, we can't. Everything looks good on our end." So this is like this is a huge fix if you run a server because this has been an ongoing thing.
And
And
it's
it sounds like
frustrating.
yeah, it sounds yeah because all the players come to you and they're like, "You fix this." I'm like, "Well, we can't."
Yeah,
It's like
your
yeah,
server's lagging, your server's
we
terrible. It's like
we changed
I don't get this on
boxes, we
another
changed
server. No,
data
every server.
centers. Yeah, we changed data centers, we changed boxes, we reset so many times and nothing fixed it. So we're finally looking like we found they did something. And it looks like it was all just a fucking dumb misunderstanding. Like some line of code didn't get changed somewhere. I don't know whose fault. I'm not that knowledgeable on this stuff, so I don't know whose fault it was. If it was Team 17's or the server providers, I don't know. Um, but it sounds like something just got lost in translation. But they found it, and I don't know how they found it. If this is some of the data analytics or what, but yeah, man, it's looks like we're finally getting somewhere. Like the game's running. Like if you haven't played on any of these servers yet, I highly recommend it because it's running good.
Yeah. And the date today, by the way, is July 1st. So if you're watching this a little later, I don't know how long we're running it
No, no,
for.
no. So this is indefinite. So if this
Okay.
works, it's just staying on these servers. If it doesn't work, which it doesn't look like that's going to be the case, they would revert it back. But so these three servers will have it permanently if everything keeps going the way it's going, and then they'll eventually just roll it out to every other server. But they want to wait and get as much data as possible before they
So
make that change.
yeah, again, please, if you want, not just plugging like our server, but please check out Glows West, Outpost, Hot Dog 7, and
Hmm.
our server Saucy Muffin, just to make sure those are filled and to make sure that we're getting as much data as possible as we are able to partner with the devs and the server providers to make sure we make the game better. So thank you for your support. Appreciate you. If you have any questions too, leave them in the comments.
Yeah, but
Um,
promising.
yeah,
Things are
yeah.
looking good.
Fridge asks, I'm reading here that they adjusted the hedge asset on several maps too. Does that mean the hedges won't be like a brick wall when driving? I think they're meant to be barriers. I think it's more so for just like optimization. That's typically when they change those. I'm really hoping they go do a pass on every map and do the same thing they did on Driel with
Yeah.
just in general how that map is so good to go ahead and like move around in. That would
Yeah,
be
you
nice.
gotta if anytime you find something like that, you gotta report it on Discord because it's like they're never gonna find everything. So it's really helpful if you see something like
Yeah.
that's fucked up. Like all of a sudden there's a hedge that's just like sticking out too far or an invisible barrier. Make sure you report it because chances are no one has and they don't fucking know.
Yeah. Um, aside from that, I mean, it looks like again, kind of the game is just going steady. I don't think we need to really rehash the whole trailer stuff, but obviously the trailer. This is like we're living right now in the dark times of Hell Loose.
Yeah,
These are the dark
yeah.
times.
We've
Um,
been here before though. We talk about this all the time. This is like, yeah, people are making a big deal out of it, but it's not going to stop it. People will come back as changes come in. more new players will come in as they try it out and realize the game still plays decently.
Oh man, I wish I
Yeah.
saved it. But speaking of that, I saw on Reddit some random new guy was like, "Hey, like I just got this game and I keep reading all this stuff about like all these bugs and issues and like I've been playing for like 6 hours and I haven't noticed anything. Am I just
Yeah.
crazy?" And then everyone's like, "Oh, there's there's this glitch, and then there's this glitch." And
Yeah.
then other people are like, well, I mean, the grenade glitch I get like every once in a while. And then other people are like, yeah, I guess like if you don't play tanker, then like the loadout bug isn't like really that bad. And it's like, there you go.
That's the
I mean,
reality of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So again, not the best, but
Yeah.
I mean, still
Dude,
lots
it's
to come, man.
people are gonna leave. That's fine. People are sick of it. They're gonna leave. That's whatever. But there's gonna be plenty of new players to come in. Hell Loose was never a gigantic game. There's still so many people out there who haven't played this game yet. So there will be more people coming in too. It's just how it goes. You're gonna lose some of the player base, and you're gonna gain some new ones.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is,
It is
but
what it is.
the game I think still has just a bright future ahead of it.
Oh yeah.
Sincerely, like
Yeah.
someone was asking me about a Mono's take again. Like just to make this very clear, Mono is one of our best friends. So
Yeah.
I was making this very clear earlier, but like Mono is a really good friend of mine. So
I
we
mean,
are
there's
friends.
people in our like close group of gamer
Yeah,
friends that
that
like we disagree all the time with over this shit. Like it's
yeah.
just how it goes.
But yeah, so we were talking about one of his hot takes, and we'll get into our hot takes about how like it wasn't a review bombing, and it was rather than just like giving feedback.
Oh, come
So
on.
yeah, so like
How else can you describe that?
yeah, in my
I mean, okay,
opinion,
so if this was actual reviews and you go through those reviews, it'd be like I stopped playing this game because the bug, so and so specific bug is out of control, or I'm playing this game, I'm stopped playing this game because of player base. You go through, it's just all people tearing apart Team 17 and blah blah blah, and just not being specific.
in the trailer,
Um, in the trailer, yeah.
yeah,
So it's not even good reviews. Like I'm saying, I can only take it at service level because I don't fucking know these people. I
and
can only read all the reviews left,
I
and it
think it's
makes it
just
yeah, very obvious.
I think what's funny is like people on Reddit are just so much about like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go like I'm definitely gonna go ahead and change my review, and like all these
Yeah.
reviews will definitely get better when the game gets better.
Oh
Look,
no, no, nobody's. I
no one's
guarantee you,
going
a lot
back.
of these people, some of these people are gonna come back, but they're not gonna change the
No,
review.
no.
And it's review bombing is a fucking dumb thing because for two reasons. No matter what, you're right when you do it. So these people are gonna feel justified.
Yeah,
So if the game dies, then they're like, okay, good, we killed it, we review bombed it. As the game gets fixed, then they go, oh, they fixed it because we review bombed it.
yeah,
So it's like it's just a really dumb thing to do. You're just hurting the game, really. Like, I mean, if you want it to get fixed, then you have to keep working with these developers and on their level, and hopefully it gets fixed. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But review bombing is just a dumb thing to do. You're shooting yourself in the foot.
yeah.
It's not like they're not working on it this whole time. Like,
I think
it's not like, oh shit, we got to work harder. It's like they're still working on it.
Yeah, like I think for me, it's like it's really important to go ahead and give feedback, right?
Yeah,
Like feedback
be
is so
critical.
important. Yeah,
Yeah, be
100%. And we're
critical.
critical all the time. Like the
Yeah.
lag is unbearable. Like I
Hmm.
like literally I haven't played Tell Loose I think in like the last 2 weeks cuz I just cannot stand the lag. It's that bad.
Yeah.
But it's
Where
one of
were
those
all
things
these
where you
reviews before the trailer? That's
yeah.
that's all I'm saying. Where were all these reviews before the trailer? A dumb
And
trailer comes out, and then people fucking all of a sudden decide to review bomb a game.
it's just like we gotta make sure we're reporting it, accurately. And you know what? One of my favorite things you mentioned this a couple podcasts ago, and we got a bunch of flack for it, but I think it's such
I
a
don't
funny
care.
point. No, I know, I like it is what it is. I think it's such a good take though. Is when people are like, oh, they should just do what Postscriptum does. Oh, you should just go to Postscriptum. You know how many people go to Postscriptum? No one. No one goes to
You know
Postscriptum.
what has a faster run speed than Hell Let Loose used to?
Postscriptum.
Postscriptum. And they gave it a faster run
Arma.
speed. Now people are upset about it. It's like you can't they're not winning. Like it's just like it's fucking stupid.
Hella Loose
Um
still, by the way, if you didn't know this, has and it's tested by Pterodactyl, so 100% confirmed, like actual testing done. Arma, Squad, and Postscriptum all have faster run speeds than Hella Loose. still with the 15% increase. That just puts it into perspective. Like all of those games.
I think, dude, it's all just the culmination of people getting fed up, and then the trailer just put people over the edge. But I mean, if we're back to the point of reviews, and it's like, dude, if you're gonna really leave a review, just make sure you're specific and why you're not playing the game. And if I, I can't, like, we wouldn't be having this conversation if all these reviews were talking like about, I don't like this game because the loadout system's fucking dumb. I don't like this game because there's no ticket system, shit like that. But when you're just leaving all these disingenuous reviews, and it's like we have to call it review bombing. You're not really leaving us a choice.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's just silly. Like I think it's a very big overreaction,
Oh yeah.
but I think it is justified to an extent. Like it's
Yeah. Absolutely.
justified for sure. Like there are major issues with the game, but saying Team 17 has ruined the game and is making it like
No.
Call of Duty, there is nothing aside from the running speed that has changed. Period. And the running speed
It's
is
closer to
still
the original
slow.
Hell Loose running
Like
speed. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
yeah, it's like I think it's like that gap of people that have joined since that last update. What is it like
It
Karen
has to
Can?
be. It
Like when
has to be.
so probably the last like year and a half of folks because it used to be super
Yeah.
fast too.
Yeah.
So I'm new to Hell Loose. So I have no previous reference point as to how things were. I love the game. I wouldn't really notice the little stutters. There wasn't such a big deal made it from certain
Yeah,
quarters.
dude.
That is the consensus of new players,
Yeah. Yeah.
literally. Like
It's like going to a bar with your friends, and it's like you're having a good time, but there's like one or two friends being like, "This floor is really gross. Look at it. Look at it closer." Or like, "The bathroom's really gross. You guys should go in there and check it out." It's like, as long as like you're not fucking being annoying about it and you just sit back and try to enjoy the game, it's a pretty good game.
yeah, but man 83 like that is the most consistent feedback I've heard from new players. And I keep telling people like I think what it is like a very hardcore like competitive group that like the competitive scene is really making a a uh issue about it. And again, like I respect that that's the perspective and that's fine, you know? But like to the millions of new players that are playing this game or thousands of new players, that are playing this game, like Fresh and I post videos all the time on TikTok, right? And TikTok, for example, or YouTube Shorts are the difference between that and like mainstream YouTube is it goes out to the regular everyday average Joe that has maybe picked up the game, played it one time and never played it again, or played it one time and or never seen it before. And they see the running speed. And every time a new player sees it, I can guarantee you can look at every single one of my videos. They comment how slow the running speed is. Even now that they've increased it, I still get comments on my lives about how slow the running speed is. Like, just to put it in perspective, I understand it's an approachable, realistic game, but it's still like it's a slow game. I think
Yeah.
further refinement is needed for sure,
Oh yeah.
but like we're not arguing that fact. The running
No.
speed to me, I enjoy it. I like the speed at which you
Progress. We're
run.
not we're not getting to the hot
Yeah,
takes yet.
I know. Sorry. Hot takes are a little bit. We have, so what we prepared, by the way, for today, we prepared 5 hot takes each that are
Yeah.
hot takes. Mine are pretty hot, I will say.
I tried to stay out of the common hot takes. I tried to be original here the best I could. So we'll see.
Mine are pretty hot takes.
I have a couple that people are gonna fucking hate, and I love it.
Um, but yeah, so Fridge says looking through the reviews, 95% of them
Yeah,
have less than
dude.
50 hours of playtime.
Just because people are the loudest doesn't mean they're the people you want to listen to. That's the way this always goes. And it's
Yeah,
anyone new for Hell Loose. This is like, yeah, this is a little bit worse than what usually is. Every fucking big change and update, this
yeah,
shit happens. Um, People get upset, people leave, new players come in. I mean, this is every single update. This is what
yeah.
happens. This is obviously a little bit worse because that trailer, but I mean, it's just how it goes. The game's you boot up the game, see for yourself, and still hell it loose.
Yeah, agreed. Solid takes. Getting tired of people screaming about the game. I've unsubbed from YouTube channels because of it. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like a hot topic right now. I get
Yeah.
it. Like, I think everyone's in agreement. Like, I don't think the devs would say they're in agreement necessarily. I think they just wanted to forget. But I would say they're probably in agreement as well.
Yeah.
that it didn't go that way. So there's probably a reason why they removed it from their YouTube channel.
Mhm.
Like,
These people, they're not idiots. They wanna make money off this game.
yeah.
So
Um,
it is what it is.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much the main stuff about like the new stuff that's kind of coming to Hell Loose. I still
Yeah.
think the future of Hell Loose, it has a lot of potential. I
Yeah.
do think this update 15 will be the make or break though. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
if update 15 is bad, that is going to kill the game
Yeah.
potentially.
There
Potentially.
are people just waiting in the wings to rip this game apart.
Yeah.
So if they come out with something bad, it's gonna be real bad.
Yeah.
People are fucking waiting to tear this thing apart. So they have to make
Agreed.
sure it's good shit.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you want to get to our hot takes? I think we do one each.
Yeah, we'll just go back and forth.
All right, let's
We'll do it.
hear Fresh Baked Goods and Raspberry get canceled. Here we go.
All
All
right.
right,
So
so sorry, so just to preface again, if you guys are just joining in, we got Terry Dactyl in the house. Terry, we were just talking about you and the running speed. We have prepared 5 hot takes each. We're gonna go ahead and kind of break those down, and they are gonna be hot takes. I don't think we're gonna go into anything in reference like I don't know if you're gonna go into Artie or anything, but I think Artie is not necessarily a hot take. I think that's like pretty common consensus
yeah,
about
that kind of
everyone,
shit. Yeah.
but we're gonna go into like more in-depth stuff. So
This is personal.
here we go, Fresh. All you. I'll let you go
All right.
first.
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Hot take number 1. Kursk is one of the best maps for infantry and one of the worst maps for tanks.
That is a hot take.
Yeah,
Um,
people get fucked when
do
they
you
say
have a
that's a good map for tanks.
specific on day
Okay.
or night or in general? Walk me through it.
Oh, night's its own thing. That is what I'm talking about. Day. So tanking on that map is insanely boring. You just go forward and backwards. There's no depth to it at all. It's very much just simple. Like, you go up and you shoot in reverse. Infantry is a fucking blast on that map. I have no idea what people are talking about when they say they hate that map for infantry and they say it's a tank map. Because that's just number one thing I see about it is people, oh, it's a tank map. It's like, dude, that shit is fun on infantry running through those trenches. There's not really any other map that plays like it. Granted, Artie can be annoying, but that's like every loose map. And I think it's just an original map that doesn't get enough love and doesn't have the respect that it deserves.
I will say that is a hot take. I actually recently, like one of the last days I played of Hell Loose before today, I was playing on Kursk Day, and we were pushing up on the German side up towards the windmills, and we were having some crazy trench warfare,
Yeah,
like
dude.
back to back, like throwing grenades over. So it was pretty hot. It was good, and then we used the I think Oz actually was on Artie. He was pounding. Yeah, I know. He was pounding the point, and then I had him walk in some smoke. He walked in the smoke. We charged and like got into the compound, started chucking grenades like within 20 meters. So the infantry fighting there can be good, and then on the far side of Yamki, like opposite side on the Russian side, that whole trench that is pretty hot. I do
Dude, it's
like
fun.
that.
It's fun. It's a great map for infantry. Is the bottom line, and I will die on that hill.
Yeah. I think that would be like this isn't one of my hot takes, but this is a hot take that I've had for a while. SMDM is not a good map. That's my hot take. I think that one's pretty
You've been
hot
on this.
though.
We heard this.
I'm
This
telling
comes up every
I'm
every
surprised
episode
though.
now.
So Soul agreed with me. Like
Mhm.
I'm telling you, it's just not my. It's not my cup of tea. I feel like I play that so similarly, and the same thing with you in like Kursk when it comes
Yeah.
to tanking. Like I feel one of my most satisfying games are when I maneuver and like outflank the enemy. And you're absolutely right. Where Kursk plays just like this. You post up, you wait there until you get airstriked, and that's how the game goes. Literally, there's no flanking when it comes to like tanks. You just sit there and go up top. No, absolutely.
Okay.
SMDM needs more offensive. Yeah, offensive plays good on it, but I'm just talking warfare only.
Yeah. All right. Hit us.
Um,
Was that your official first one, or you got a better
no,
one?
no, no, no. That wasn't my first one.
All right. Hit us with your first one.
All right. So my first one, player locomotion should be more like Battlefield 5 without the sliding.
Ooh. Oh, I like this.
That's
I
that's mine.
you know where I stand on this. I fucking agree. I don't
Dude,
care.
it's good, man. I'm telling you, like I went back and played Battlefield 5. I
Yeah.
now keep in mind, like I'm gonna pick my words very carefully.
Okay, so
Uh,
you said like, not exactly
correct,
like.
correct.
Yeah.
So let me clarify. I don't agree with the movement speed on Battlefield 5 when it comes to uh yeah, choose chat's already like no, 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 no. So I don't agree in the movement speed, and I don't agree on the sliding or like I will say what is cool actually, which is very not used at all in Battlefield 5, but it is a possibility. When you jump out second story windows, you can dive and roll. I kind
Yeah.
of like that. I don't think that would necessarily fit in Hella Loose,
No, no, no.
but I think when it comes to the movement speed, absolutely not. What I mean is just the locomotion itself, like
It's
how you
smooth
feel.
as fuck.
Yes, how you feel like you have weight.
Yeah.
You can't jump back and forth and zigzag. They stop you from doing that. Same kind of thing like when you dive and then get up, like you can't dolphin dive nonstop like that. But just the locomotion of you like traversing around the map. And I also like, and what I think could be refined in Hell Loose is when you jump right now in Hell Loose, like your climbing is just kind of like you climb and you don't grab on, you just kind of like leap over it. It's like super janky. So I would like that aspect of you jumping up, same spots you can now. You're not changing any metas or anything, but same spot you jump now. You jump up, grab it, like you see yourself grabbing it, and then pull yourself up. Like I like correct that the climbing is in Hell Loose is always the vault animation. Correct. That's what I'm saying. Like I think if it the locomotion could be similar to Battlefield 5 in the sense of just the animations and just the feel of like not getting stuck on these little things. They have refined it a little more towards that in the most recent update, but I think they refined it a little more. You'll see it less like Bad Company 2. That's like how I kind of like scale these. Like Bad Company 2, if you go back to Bad Company 2, you'll get stuck on everything. Every single little thing. You go to Battlefield 5, the locomotion is very smooth. It feels like your character has weight. And the animations of like kind of moving through things is really nice.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
I
But
agree.
climbing won't work in Hell Loose due to the no. But that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think you change where you can go. I just think you change the animations. Like if you can go in the same spots how you go right now, that's how it should work. Like it shouldn't change any metas. I want to make very clear. Like the running speed, absolutely not. The sliding, absolutely not. But the traversal itself and the animations, I like that in Battlefield 5. If you haven't tried it, I would highly recommend going to Battlefield 5 again and seeing like how the animations work and like how your weight transfers like when you kind of zigzag a little bit in Battlefield 5. I'm telling
So
you, it's a
I'll
hot take.
continue on this because my next
Okay.
hot take. So this is another one where it's like, let me explain.
I know. We're going to get canceled immediately. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
care, but that's the
My
whole point of
next
the
hot, my
episode.
next hot take I wrote down was the run change speed was a good thing.
Yeah, that's a very
Yeah.
hot take. That's a
Yeah,
very hot
I know,
take.
but let me
All
explain.
right, go for it.
It's not like it's where it's gonna be. It's gonna be tweaked. It's gonna be fucking they're gonna work on it. But I think, dude, it had to be faster. They had to do something. And this is going back to what you were just saying about Battlefield 5 and stuff. Like it had to be smoother. You had to be getting around these maps quicker as infantry. It's just it was too slow. It was not enjoyable to play. And I think once we get through this period of figuring out where it needs to end up and the smoothness of the locomotion and everything, um, I think it's going to end up in a good place. I really do. I don't, I think there's no going back. We're not going back. So you could rip that band-aid off. They're not reverting it. But I think they will modify it in a good place. And I think honestly, sometimes you got to push a little far to know where the boundary is and what you can do and what you cannot do. And the fact that they fucking found that boundary, I think is a good thing. It's going to be the loss of some players that say, fuck you, I'm never coming back. Some will come back and check it out once they're done working on it. But I think it was a good thing that they changed this. How going back to what we are saying before, of how many people want the game to be like postscriptum. This is a step in that direction. And this is an easy change that once it is refined, that will switch up a lot of things gameplay wise, not just getting from point A to point B. This changes where you place your OPs. It changes how fast you can get back and defend a point. So I think it is a good change. And I think once they finally figure out where they're going to end up, it'll be honestly what a lot of players like. And I think it'll make the game better.
I think so too. I mean, I think they just need to go ahead and further refine it. I think it's in an okay spot right now. But as Terry pointed out, if you haven't watched Terry's video, by the way,
Yeah.
Terry, kind of going back to what we spoke about, like as of right now, you have to turn 90 degrees for
Yeah.
it to go into
Which
effect.
is some bullshit.
Yeah, I think that needs to be refined to where you can't zigzag, you can't dive and get up. I think they fixed that, right? You said they fixed the diving spam.
I think so. I mean,
I haven't tried it yet,
I
but
couldn't spam it like I did before. So yeah,
yeah.
maybe someone knows something I don't, but I thought it was fine. I couldn't fucking spam shit.
I think the general consensus, and I think this, echo me
Is
if
it?
you're right.
Is it?
Well, between you and I mean,
Yeah.
is that it's going in the right direction, but I think it just needs to be refined and it needs to be brought from Bad Company 2 style like locomotion to something more modern with modern games. Like,
They'll get there.
yeah, again, this is gonna be a terrible comparison. This is gonna be another hot take, but I'm just saying, like Call of Duty, right? Like, if there's one thing, I know. Hear me out.
Let him
Um,
explain.
it's gonna be like Call of Duty. You have to give it credit for how smooth the locomotion is and traversal
Just ignore the
specifically.
dolphin diving and all that shit. Like when you're
Yeah,
talking about the
correct,
sprinting aspect of it, and
correct.
you can only run like almost straight when you're sprinting. I
And
think that is a
actually,
very wise idea.
this is something Terry mentioned, which I actually like that it's again, this is kind of like the modern innovations. He mentioned instead of having like a full sprint like they have now, having like a burst of sprint. I actually
Yeah.
like that idea. And that's
What do
something
they
that
call it like something dumb. They call it like tactical sprint or
is
some
that what it's
shit like
called?
that. I think
Yeah.
so. But
But
but yeah, I agree. That's that.
yeah, but like Call of Duty and Battlefield have both implemented that aspect of it. So maybe you
Mhm.
don't run as fast. No. So when you explained it, I liked it better. You explained it and I liked it better. But like I still like the running speed now, but I think that would be an okay alternative. But I don't know. I
Terry's
mean,
about to
I
like
know Terry's about to
he's about to dig up the receipts.
I said I liked it.
That's
I
all right.
said
Hey,
that was a good idea.
this is part of doing the podcast. We're gonna say different shit
I
like every
know.
10 episodes, and
I
people are
know.
gonna bring stuff up.
I don't
I'm
know,
like, I
but
don't
I'm just
remember what
saying,
we
like
said.
that's just an example of kind of like modern innovation. I think it would be
Oh, I'm all for it.
nice to have modern innovation
I have been
into
on
Hellaloose.
the fucking Call of Duty and Battlefield sprint shit for Hell Loose for a long time
Just the
now. So
traversal, like the
yeah.
general traversal. But I think people like I'm 100. I don't think I know people are gonna misinterpret what we're gonna say.
Oh,
So I'm trying to
100%.
be very clear. Like
Yeah,
I
fuck them.
think, yeah, like
They're not coming back
the
anyways. They already left the
diving,
battlefield.
the parachute, like all that's too much. Keep it grounded. Keep it grounded. Okay. Is it my turn or your turn? Oh,
It's
your.
your turn. I threw one in there
Oh,
because it's
okay.
pretty similar.
So I don't know if this is a hot take, necessarily, but I mean, like, I think it's kind of a hot take.
Okay.
Get rid of the weather differences in offensive warfare. I
I
don't
think that's
care.
fair. Yeah.
Like, I think people love that it's like different. No, like I think get rid of it. I ideally have dynamic weather, but like I hate that it's different because I want to see like Foy in offensive Foy light, or I want to
Do
see
you
like Purple Heart Lane with Purple
do you
Heart
think
Lane
it should be
lighting.
something like that we choose as server admin, or should it be random?
I think you should have both options in if you want to
Okay.
have it, but
Yeah, yeah.
I would like it that it's random. I think instead of having it, here's the hot take, Team 17, if you're listening, have a tutorial in that just teaches people the different game modes. There you go.
I
Like,
don't think that's a hot take, Raz.
yeah, like, I mean, instead of just making it clearly different, like have it variable, but like teach people the different game modes and maybe have like a little cinematic like as it's loading in instead of just that intro and just say this is warfare, this is what you do, blah blah blah, whatever the case is. But like
Okay, so this is like where I always get flat because I always go back to like games like Battlefield where I'm like, people are so scared to bring shit in from other games like Battlefield and Call of Duty in this game. Battlefield did this, man. When you first boot up Battlefield 5 and you click on
talking
Conquest or
operations,
whatever, operations, there's like a minute long cinematic where they tell you what's going on. And I'm
yeah,
like, God damn it, why can't we have something like
dude.
that?
Operations was so good because to me it felt like you were part of something bigger than yourself and it
Oh
set
yeah.
like a lore of like what's going on, and I think that would be really nice for Hella Loose where it adds like, I mean, the lore as in like the actual battle, like it makes you feel more immersed in the experience,
What do you
and like
do?
it wouldn't be anything added necessarily. It would just be like the loading screen. Like that's
Yeah.
all it would be. Like you're loading through it, just like you
Yeah.
do now, where you're just looking at a JPEG of Purple Heart Lane,
I
right? Like
like how we're
instead of that.
talking. I like how we're talking. Yeah, this would be easy. But like
Yeah,
they
I
can't
know.
even
I
fucking
don't know.
do a
I don't know.
trailer.
Touche.
The video will come out for like fucking goddamn warfare, and it'll be some T pose or some shit. I don't
Oh
know.
my god, T-posing around.
Yeah.
Like the fucking that
Give me one
SWAT
guy in his
meme.
bathroom telling you how to play warfare.
But yeah, that's my hot take.
Okay, I got another one
Um,
for you.
all right, go
So
for it.
it's technically number 3. The whole loadout system, fucking get rid of it. I don't want guns to be level
Whoa.
locked anymore. I don't think that should be a thing. I think it should only be
Mm,
cosmetics.
okay, I
Because
disagree with that though.
oh,
Go
I
on, go
know.
on, go on.
Yeah, but it's such a dumb thing to where like the Axis has incredibly good loadouts once you get to those higher levels
Yeah.
that are honestly better than the Allies or Russians or British. And the same thing as when you're tanking. I don't think the repair torch should be locked behind a level. There's so many things that give an advantage the more you play the game. And I don't like that. I think everyone should be on the same page when they sign in. But there could be a fucking better system in play. It's like, you can only pick certain things. Like so you can't just have this fucking crazy loadout. You can't always pick like, an STG and satchel for every role or every class or anything. So you'd have to divide it up in this, going back to Battlefield. If you're playing assault, you can only select from these guns, but those will be the guns you have, stuff like that. But I just think it's
Mhm.
dumb to have guns level locked behind certain things. It's like it is what it is.
I think that would be okay if they had some sort of limitation per squad
Yeah.
of how many could be that.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
what I
Yeah.
want is to make sure that it's somewhat realistic in the sense that like the majority of folks have the standard issue rifle. And
In
that's like, sorry,
in
go ahead.
in parentheses, I have written next to it, no more 3 satchels per squad.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I mean,
So,
I
yeah,
think that's
shit like
good.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But like, yeah, I still like the class system. Like that's one of the things I don't like about Battlefield, the newest
Yeah.
Battlefield, is like, um, is that there's no class system. It's just like you get whatever
Mhm.
fucking gun you want. I hate that. Like I think that you can get the standard issue rifle, but only so many people can get X gun. You
Yeah,
know?
it should just be condensed. You don't need all these fucking roles. It's usually like 4 or 5, like
Oh yeah,
have a support engineer, a couple assault people, and put limitations on guns, and you're fucking cruising. And then you just unlock cosmetics as you go.
Terry says, "How about this idea? Each squad is limited to the non-standard issue rifles, so BAR, one per squad, one
Yeah.
STG, maybe one or
Oh,
two
I'm all
SMGs."
in.
Yeah, I think that
I'm
sounds
all
great.
in.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds
Make everyone
awesome.
use R98s. I'm fucking down.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I think that's fine though. Like quite literally. What now? There might need to be some variation for some balance where like everyone's rocking the car and then everyone has the M1 Grand. I think maybe
Yeah.
like you have some extra like it could be the car or the Gewehr, like some variation.
I don't know.
But
They make 'em
but I
but let
think
them have a couple more semi-autos. I don't care.
keep it to where it's very much like the standard issue rifle because that's one of the
Yeah.
best modes. If you ever played Battlefield 1, the standard issue rifle mode or back to basics is what it was called. And all you got was the standard issue rifle. That was great. That was great. But yeah, no, I can see with the refinement, I can agree with that.
Cool.
Interesting. That's an interesting hot take. Okay. You ready for me to get canceled?
Go for it.
Um so I specified, but I could go with everything. So we've spoken about scaling, and when I talk about scaling, we're talking about run speed, right? And like that when I say it this way, everyone gets pissed, but then when I say it scaling, everyone's fine. But so the run speed was increased, right? So
Mhm.
I said if the run speed was increased, let's go ahead and increase the vehicles, right?
Yeah.
Proportionally. And
Yeah.
everyone's like, "Oh no, that's terrible." And I was like, "Listen, like it was the same before, just scale it appropriately." I'm saying make all the fucking trucks and Jeeps way faster.
Yeah.
Make them way faster.
Absolutely.
And I would argue, instead of scaling it, I would argue make some of the tanks even faster than that. Like
Yeah, dude.
make the Puma fast as fuck, dude.
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
Like,
It's not like it matters. Tanks are
so
so easy to kill in this game.
yeah, so like I think I think it was the Puma, or I don't know. I was watching actually recently. If you guys follow the Tank Museum in the UK, they just actually had their once a year showing, and one of the vehicles they had, they were mentioning that it has 5 gears forward, and for fast retreats, it has 5 gears backwards. And I think it's the Puma. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember what vehicle it was, but one of the scout vehicles. I don't know. I think it was the Greyhound. Dude, do that. Like, let me go just as fast backwards as I can
Yeah.
forwards. Like, make that shit fast
Yeah,
AF.
turret rotation speed, all that shit. It needs adjusting. It's just too slow. I mean, that's like
I mean, I still think like there
fucking
needs to be
dumb.
refinement to it.
Yeah.
Obviously, like it has to be like it can't be the scout vehicles be knocking heavies like it used to be back in the old updates, right? Those things were just too strong.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, like make these tanks like quick, make them scary
Absolutely.
because right
I agree.
now I'm just running with my Panzer Shrek and I'm like, oh okay, there's another 76. I'll just pen it from
Put
pretty
two
much
sh
every side. Yeah,
put 2
that's it.
shots in, escape,
Okay,
redeploy, or don't
done.
even escape, redeploy, just let it kill you, and then you come back in
Yeah,
10
there you
10 to
go.
15 seconds with more rockets and finish it
Yeah.
off.
So make that like crank that up, crank that
Yeah.
speed up. I don't know. What do you guys think?
No, I mean, everyone will complain about how tanks are too strong, but I ignore those complaints.
Yeah. Emperor, we're talking about hella loose right now. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
I could die on that hill.
Crank the vehicle speeds up, dude. If you've
No reason
and
not
like
to.
this is another thing. They're like, oh, postscriptum's so much better, dude. Have you
Dude,
seen the tanks in postscriptum?
you could go
Those
back in time when you're
motherfuckers
driving a Puma, dude.
fly. They're so fast. Those things, like, I just remember
Yeah.
sitting there in a tank with Fresh and Vade, and we see like a blur, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" And then Fresh like turns the cannon. It's a freaking Daimler hauling ass. Vade's like,
Yeah,
"Oh
dude.
shit!" And like he nails it, and like what, like 50 kilometers an hour, going like right next to us.
I
It
think it's
makes
absolutely worth a test.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. But yeah, so that's my hot take. Make all the vehicles faster.
Okay. Okay, so this is kind of a depressing one because it just reminds me of the good times.
Oh boy.
Um, the best tanking in Hell Loose was before 1.0 when you had all the weak spots. When jumbos are one shot and you could destroy a Panther on the cupola and there was bag shots. I think that was the most fun tanking was in Hell Loose.
Jeez. I
Yeah.
have played tanking there, but not as much as I play tanking now. So
Yeah.
I think weak spots are a go-to.
Yeah.
Um I
I mean,
just
I could argue that all day. I just think that was the hot take. If I just put weak spots are good.
I think I don't know. Like I think there has to be some sort of balance between it, but I do think the weak spots would make more dynamic tanking. And I think that's one of the things I actually
Yeah, people. I mean, this is like it was so bananas before when it's like you saw a Panther and the best option was to shoot it in the cupola, um, and you could just blow up a jumbo one shot by shooting a fucking rolled up bag on the side. But it's the principle of it where it's like
yeah.
the dynamicness and the kind of like weirdness of it made it so much fun. So if they figure out how to capture that magic and put it in the modern version and weak points, I guess makes sense in a way. But still, you want to switch it up. I mean, I don't know. I don't. You get. It's gonna take a lot of refinement for that. But yeah, I just think that was the best tanking was back in the day when it was fucking all over the place and it didn't
Yeah.
matter if you died because fuel costs weren't a big thing. You could just pump another tank out. Um, but I don't know if you have that hot take you sent me about heavies. This because I'm pretty much going to transition into that. It was basically there was no heavy tank meta at the time, and
That's
that's what
actually
made
exactly what one of mine is get
yeah.
rid of the
So I figure
heavy
I
tank
figure we
meta.
were I figure we
Yeah.
just transitioned to that nicely. Um, that it was like before there was a heavy tank meta, and it was just fucking awesome. It was kind of like Battlefieldish, where it didn't really matter what you took out as long as it wasn't the Lukes, and it didn't matter if you lost it because you could just bring something else out. It was more about fun rather than like consequences. So I just think that was like the glory days of Hell Loose tanking.
Yeah, I think because I wrote that exact thing down. One of mine was tank meta should not be just heavies.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, like I want to be able to take a medium or a light and like go have fun with it. You can do that sometimes, but like I want every single tank to have some sort of dynamic. And like obviously the heavy tank is going to be like a menace, but like you could use other tanks. And right now you just can't. Like it's
Yeah.
just like heavy tank or nothing.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. Like I just find it super frustrating where a medium tank, like you get spawned in medium tank, you're just fucked. Like okay,
It's just it's all because they raise the fuel costs on heavies and stuff. It's like they put I mean this so this all goes back to the my I hate when I see people say make the cooldown or fuel costs increase on a heavy because all you're doing is just doubling down on the heavy tank meta when you do that. It's like whatever team has the heavy tank that's alive is going to keep winning. So it's like when you increase the fuel cost, increase the cooldown, it just makes it worse. It just puts more importance on your heavy tank, and then we want less importance on the heavy tank.
and
So it's
yeah,
like,
often
you know,
we get stuck in that loop that I hate. There's
hmm
a loop that you get stuck if you play tanks a lot, where if you start in the medium tank and you say you put all the nodes or whatever the case is, and like you start with the medium tank, whatever the case is, and you survive, that's worse for you because now you survived and now you're just gonna die, and then that heavy tank crew that gets the first heavy dies and then spawns against the second heavy. By the time you die, now you're just stuck behind them and like you're never getting a heavy tank until like an hour and a half.
and meanwhile the other team is still alive in that starting heavy tank,
Yeah,
and they have like 2,000 fuel. So when they die, it's no big deal. They just come back in another heavy tank. So increasing the fuel cost and cooldown just doesn't help. It makes it worse. It just puts more importance on the heavy tank. So really, it's like I don't know. You gotta make mediums a viable option. That's really the only really straightforward way.
through weak spots.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree with that. Kirk has a hot take here. I still don't buy that. This is in reference to the I think our like you die and then respawn take.
Yeah.
I still don't buy that. The average Hell Loose player isn't going to go intentionally get killed so they can have another satchel. The average player doesn't even know how to use satchels effectively. Tankers complaining because they can't sit and tank snipe for an entire game is funny to me. Um, but
I mean,
Kirk,
that's not what we're complaining about.
well, that's one of the things we mentioned where like if say you have a Panzer Shrek or something and like
Mhm.
rocket and then you go die by the tank and then you come
Yeah.
back with the third rocket.
Yeah.
So I think like my argument would be with that is like they would play say like a handful of rounds, they learn that and then that's what they do.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
that's
so
operator error. You
it's
can't
just yeah.
Yeah, that's a player issue. That's not a game issue.
Yeah, because I think if it can be done in the game, then that's the problem.
Yeah.
So I don't think tanks should be alive all game, and that's why I think tanks should be a little faster to where like
It's
it doesn't take them
it's
forever.
so easy to kill tanks in this game. If you
Yeah.
can't kill tanks, that's a you problem. It is incredibly easy to kill tanks in this game.
Oh, I'm sorry. He said this was in reference to people saying there are too many satchels in squads. Oh, I gotcha, I gotcha.
I mean,
I
it's kind of the same thing though. I mean, there are too many satchels in
yeah,
squads.
I still think there's too many.
There's 3 of them. Every
Yeah.
squad.
It,
That's on top of mines, AT guns. I mean, then you have one role that can either take a satchel or
see,
rockets.
to me, like I'd be fine if it stayed how it is if tanks just move faster.
Correct. Yeah,
That's it.
that's it.
Like
That's it. That's
like
what they have to do.
if tanks have a capability, because like to me, if I'm running a medium Sherman, like it's useless. Like I can't because you run a medium Sherman. If you don't know, medium Shermans can die by 2 shots from a Panzer Shrek, which is what a normal AT holds, and you can have so many ATs from the front.
Mhm.
From you can shoot the front hole. It doesn't matter if it's looking at you or what. You shoot 2 shots at it.
Well,
That's it.
so the bottom
So
line question is satchel 3 satchels per squad. Well, you have to look deeper at the satchel in the whole AT loop. It doesn't matter if you die as an AT player. You just have to keep going over and over again until you get 1 kill. So it's like when you have 3 of them, you have to do something here. Especially with increased sprint speed and stuff like that. But as it currently goes, it's like, yeah, I mean, something's got to be done, whether it be on the tank side or reducing satchels or something.
yeah. I mean, I love the satchel. I will say it's difficult
Yeah,
to satchel tanks,
get
but
out of here.
it
It's
it
so easy.
was it was
It's even
difficult to
easier
satchel
now.
tanks. Now it's ridiculous. Yes, I keep
Yeah,
smiling.
yeah,
Said the running speed right now compared to tanks is crazy. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. But
yeah.
at the time, yeah, um, good tankers keep on the move, and you can't get
Well,
satcheled
I
as
mean,
easy.
that's the same argument as before. If you're saying that
Yeah,
the average player doesn't know how to use a satchel, the average tanker doesn't know how to fight satchels. So it's
yeah.
like you got to use that argument both ways. That's if you're talking about a tanker needs to be good, then the satcheler needs to be good.
Barrick says from my and I think Barrick's correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if you're on console or PC, But from my experience, the average player absolutely knows how to use a satchel, and people will run out and die intentionally just to get another. When I
Oh
get the
yeah,
second engineer class, it took me one time to figure out how to use the satchel and how effective it was. PC? Oh, it's a PC. Yeah. So I could
yeah,
say different, like a different experience for sure on console, but
yeah. I
and
don't know nothing
and
about
by the way,
console.
chat, I appreciate us all having different sort of uh insight and perspectives. So no hate to anyone when we're kind of reading through the comments at all. I am
Yeah.
here for the hot takes. That's what today is for.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So let me go back a little bit. There's a Butter said something here. Should nodes produce more resources than they do now?
Oh, don't get me
Um,
started on nodes. Nodes are fucking dumb. It's like it's just a chore. It's just like so nodes were very cool when they first had them. This is like we talk about Team 17 fucking shit up. Black Matter fucked nodes up. Nodes used to be awesome in this game. You used to be able to go behind deep enemy lines, and the further you put them back, you got more
oh
resources. So it
yeah,
was like you go on these cool missions to build nodes and stuff, and then they fucked it up and they did it so you couldn't build nodes in enemy territory. Then so you when the losing team got even worse because they can only generate like +10 while the other team was generating like +50. And now they just turned into this whole chore where it's like you just
yeah.
build them to build them. It's
I
like
think
just get rid of them. Give everyone +60. Fuck it. Get rid of
they're
encourage.
yeah, they're better now. I hated them before where if you were winning and you put them
Yeah,
further,
that was the dark
that
days.
was the worst
Yeah,
because
dude.
if you lost, you could never come back ever.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
awful.
Black Matter fucked that up bad. That nodes
That
used to be
was
really cool.
bad. That was
Yeah.
really bad.
Mhm.
Terry says, and we're working through the comments here. Jack, you actually took my my last hot take, and I'll go to that in a second. Terry's hot take is how about increasing the squad size from 6 to 9?
Mm,
6 to
I think
9.
I think the normal players like not care, but like new players that you're trying to get to be SL, that's a tough one. I think over time people get used to it, but it's like people can hardly handle managing 6 people, I guess. I don't know. That's a tough one. I would want to play around with that to see.
I don't I don't know if it would really matter too much. I mean, like the only thing you would have to me is you'd have more riflemen.
I just can't imagine running a rando squad of fucking 8 people with me. That's a lot of people, dude, to try and herd.
But that's what squad does already and postscriptum. They
Yeah,
both have like 9 people or eight or
I
nine
don't like
people.
those games.
Touche. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it would be different to be honest, aside from just having more riflemen. That's literally it. That's all I
Yeah.
can think of. Um,
Hey, if it gets rid of
to me, it'd be
some of these other
nice.
roles, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, to me, it'd be nice because
yeah,
it's kind of like have more stacked of just standard issue rifle. I think that would be cool.
yeah. I mean,
Instead
I
of
think it's
more
worth a
refined.
shot.
But I mean, what's to stop the player base from just doing only 6 man squads anyway? There's not.
Yeah,
So
I wouldn't let
yeah,
people in. So
just lock it and that's it.
yeah,
So let me go into my last hot take. So
yeah,
Jack pretty much said it. So hear me out. You guys ready for this?
do it.
This is something similar or somewhat similar in the sense of squad. Rockets and grenades or explosives in general, you should not be able to respawn and get them. They need to be
Yeah.
timed reloads.
Oh man,
So
give it
it
to me.
takes you like 5 minutes to get new set of rockets.
I want
And
the person shooting that rocket to be fucking. No, I'm not gonna waste this rocket. I gotta hit the shit.
yeah,
Not just like shoot it from 200 yards out and be like, all right, I gotta die now.
yeah. And to further like emphasize this part, I would clarify that because of this, the outcome that I would like is that it would promote riflemen to and support to put more ammo down and for Team 17 to fix the fact that you can only get one reload per ammo box. You should be able
Mhm.
to go ahead and just empty that thing out.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
And the
That's my hot
cooldown,
take.
if you do that, the cooldown on ammo boxes should be reduced, I think, like to like 30 seconds to a minute. So you can't like spam it, boom, boom, boom.
That's
But like,
that's fair.
if you're gonna
I
go that
don't
route,
think
you have to give a little bit.
I don't think you need to necessarily do it that much though, because I mean,
Yeah,
realistically, like if they fix the fact that you can't just because
yeah,
the
yeah, I
only reason
agree.
why you need to put more ammo boxes down is because you can only get one refresh off
You'll
of
be
it.
chasing tanks though, and I just know how this player
Yeah,
base works.
okay, like a minute. A minute I
You
think
have
would
to
be
hold their.
fine. But yeah, like literally, like make that a timed thing so you can't just keep respawning until you get that tank, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
make it so where like you have to work as a team. what that'll do for the average player, boom, increases their score because they're getting more support score. And then two, keep squads together more.
Yeah.
And then three, I mean, for tank wise, right? Like it'll make tanks have to be more mindful of infantry trying to flank around them instead of you have all those new guys that like just this last game, I killed this guy 7 times because he just kept coming in front of me. Like you're gonna consistently have that issue because people are just gonna keep running in front of you. Oh, I can just shoot 20 rockets at this guy and he's gonna kill him eventually. No, right? It
Yeah,
teaches
yeah.
people to go ahead and play tactically because it's
I
a
agree.
really big risk versus reward that it's like it takes a long time. It's still not realistic. It's too slow. The average infantryman in World War II did not have anywhere near as much gear in terms of. Oh, maybe I'm talking about run speed. But yeah, but I think that would be my hot take because it would just promote more teamwork. And one of the biggest feedback I've heard of Hella Loose is just there's not that much teamwork to where like you can be in a squad and you never talk to that squad. Like just
Yeah.
fuck off and do your own thing. That would
Yeah.
make you
You just run
stick with your
back.
squad.
You run back
Yeah,
behind lines with your satchel and your 2 rockets, and if you
that-
die, you die. You just keep
that's
doing it
it.
over and over again.
That's it.
So the best way to try to explain what like because people that don't tank don't really understand the AT loop, the tank versus AT loop. We often refer to it as the Superman meta. So the tank has to win 100% of its fights to be successful against AT. AT just has to win one. Because if the tank loses, the world's over. You've hurt your resource and stuff. AT, if they die, it's meaningless. They just keep coming and coming back. So it's like you have to make so the AT has to be cautious. They need to work together more as a team. You have to add more depth to it. Basically, I mean, in the short and the bottom line, it's too simple as far as AT goes and the risk versus reward. So they have all the tools in the world. Now you just need to make it so they have to use them carefully.
Yeah, I agree. I mean that's my hot take. I just think that it's just silly to have you know
Yep.
rockets that you can just keep dying and just keep shooting over and over and over and over and over. I
Yeah.
just I don't know. I don't really agree with that.
I agree. I agree.
Oh, there's an ad that triggered.
No, that happens.
Great.
Subscribe.
Yeah, there you
Yeah, subscribe.
go. We'll kind of go through the comments real
Oh,
quick.
yeah, because my
Uh,
last one, this is like the worst one, dude.
Oh God. Barrick says hot take. This game needs more emphasis on the suppression mechanic and working together as a
I
group,
agree.
and everyone tries to do their own thing and just run and die and repeat. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I would
yeah.
agree. I think suppression should be a little emphasized. I think it is pretty emphasized as is.
Mm.
God, I think it's almost too much in tanks, to be honest. I think in tanks, like you shouldn't be suppressed by small arms, only tank rounds.
I would like to see HE do more suppression. So, like, say you're in a medium and a heavy rolls up on you in the current meta. I'm not talking about all the weird shit we're talking about before. In the current meta, like, if you have to get out of there, you can like shoot an HE and dig it off in front of it and make him suppressed or something. I don't know. I think that'd be cool as far as tank v tank goes. But I
Yeah.
mean, fuck, when you have a Luke shooting you, it certainly does it. My God, you feel like you're on a goddamn roller coaster.
It's just too much.
Yeah.
All right. We ready for the hottest take of them all?
Whew. All
All right.
right, you ready for this one?
Fresh baked goods about to get
Let me
canceled.
explain.
All right. The floor is yours, my friend.
A battle pass would be a good thing for Hell Loose. I'm looking right in the camera as I fucking say that one. For cosmetics.
That's gonna be
Get
the first second of the podcast there on
yeah.
YouTube.
I don't care what anybody says. If you add dude, you get some sort of progression system for fucking cosmetics in there and you get more of them and add a little more like Battlefield 5. You add a little more depth to the cosmetics. Now you can customize your character. Fucking go for it. I think it would be a great way to get people to keep playing the game, keep grinding it out. As long as it's realistic and what they're doing, I think it would be fucking killer.
That's very interesting. That's
Hmm.
something I mentioned, I think, like 2-3 weeks ago. The battle pass. I think it makes sense. Like easy way to go ahead and get revenue for the business.
Yeah.
Um, so Skippy mentions a good point. Like I don't think there would be enough cosmetics that are still historical usable for battle pass.
Oh, you'd have to get real creative with it. but I think there is. You just have to, you know, do some minor adjustments here and there. We
I
already have people running around whiteys. It's like fuck it, let's just lean into it. We've come too far. They can't take away people's DLC, so it's like you gotta keep going with it. You
I
can't.
think
Yeah.
so. I think where they could expand on
Hmm.
is like cosmetics, and that would be all encompassing. So what I'm thinking is like obviously the outfits of your people. Now would be like I would say even split it up to American, like the factions. Like you
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
like
Oh
you could
yeah,
probably
yeah. Down to
buy,
the specific like
yeah.
top, bottom, boots, gloves, whatever. I
So
don't give a
very
fuck.
specifics.
Yeah.
Obviously keep that realistic.
Hmm.
And then the guns, I think the guns could be cosmetic as well
There you
because they
go.
have smart materials on them right now. I think we spoke about this a couple like a month ago.
Yeah.
Maybe have like markings on your guns or like
Hmm.
just striping patterns.
Dude,
Battlefield
throw
5
some
had
tank skins in there. Let's go.
so Battlefield 5 actually did a really, really good job.
Hmm.
I think I pulled a video here and I'll go ahead and show it on screen too for you guys. But they did a really, really good job of the vehicle skins. And they're all like actually quite realistic. Like they're not
Like, is it
ridiculous
just
looking.
me when the Russians came out and I saw that level 9 gets a cape that I grinded to level 9 on everything? Like, that shit keeps people playing when the cool stuff's back there.
Yeah, but look at the screen right now here. I mean, this is like pretty standardized. Like they're not crazy, crazy things. Like they just have the fuel different spots. They have, the paint scheme. They have like different, barricades and stuff on them. Like
I
the
mean, I don't know if
Greyhound here,
Polish is capable of adding. Well,
the
I guess, like,
Daimler.
you have to have a bunch of non-pen and shit. Their tank model
No, I
wouldn't
think
work
just
with
keep
that.
it super, super simple, but just change. I mean, like, look, you can easily change the
Yeah, like,
sandbags
that
and
kinda
stuff on
shit,
it.
like, throwing that kinda shit in there, I think it'd be
Easily,
rad, like,
easily.
yeah,
Keep it no, in Spaceman games, I'm 100% with you. I think the key to this is keep it grounded.
yep,
Like, don't go over the top.
yep,
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But keep it grounded to where it looks nice. Look at that. Like look at factory versus patrol here on the screen. It's literally just like a couple of different helmets, dude. Like add that as cosmetics. Who cares? Like that would be totally fine.
mhm.
I mean, like, look at the Churchill here. Like, I don't know what that is.
But
It's like,
I don't like that.
like
I don't like that one.
I don't know, but I mean, like this tank destroyer, right, with the netting stuff like that. I think that would be great. Like Panzer,
Hey, and if someone wants to roll winter camo out, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we
yeah,
already
like
do it with infantry.
that's what I'm saying. So look at the difference on these cosmetics. Like this would be totally fine. I think this would be a great way to entice people to go ahead and continue to play for a long time. Cosmetic wise, it'll help with the cosmetics. Um, but I think just keep it grounded is the absolute key. Like you don't get over the top with it. Keep it
Mhm.
grounded and no Hello Kitties. Like look at this
No Hello
tiger. Like look at
Kitties.
that. I mean, these are real camos. They used
Dude,
like
the
back in the
last
day.
tiger skin, that was fucking rad. The one
Oh
we
yeah,
unlocked.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
think it'll
yeah,
show the last tiger. But that's what I'm saying. Like keep
yeah.
these,
Like,
keep that.
right now, we should not be rocking Sherman as a safe first to Bastogne, like,
Yeah, like
and anywhere else besides Foy, I feel like.
but that's just kind of my example for us. So I think
Yeah.
keep it grounded, but I would 100% agree with you.
Now is
Um,
not the right time to introduce that for Team
no,
17 if they ever do that. Now is certainly not the right time. Maybe in a year or 2 when,
well, I don't think the battle pass, but I think the cosmetics aspect, like some
oh,
different
yeah.
tank variation skins,
Yeah,
yeah, that
yeah,
would be
for sure.
fine. Like vehicles in general,
Yeah.
maybe some like gun variations, like test the waters, by giving like a couple free variation ones,
Oh,
and then
boy.
just go from there. There's no way it could be that difficult to change some of the gun skins, like at all. Like just make a rugged
Absolutely not.
M1, and like all it is just the M1 Grand with mud on it. Done.
Uh-huh.
There you
Yeah.
go. Like, I think that'll be fine. Fachi has a question. Question fresh. In your plan, can people buy their way to the good stuff?
Sure. I don't care. If they don't wanna spend time on it, have at it. I don't care.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
not
like,
it's
there's
not like it's
nothing.
gonna give you an advantage.
Yeah, it's not like you get like the MP40, and that's the only one
Yeah.
where you can get it.
Honestly, I respect that. If you don't have time to play that much and you want that stuff, then sure, why not?
Smoggle says he needs his Pink Panther. It just plays the Pink Panther theme song when you drive around the battlefield. Hello Kitty 76 win. Those are perfect examples. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think those would be really good insight. And like I think they have gun skins here too. Like I'll see if I can find the gun skins. Um, but they did a really good job with the cosmetics too. Maybe it was Battlefield 1 gun skins.
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
Battlefield 1 I do know had some gold ones. I don't think the gold
Yeah,
ones
there
would
was
be,
definitely gold ones in
yeah,
there.
not the gold ones, but aside from that, I think like these ones, they just kind of look like officer ones. Like look at this, like the engravings on it and stuff. Like those look
Hmm.
fine. I don't know if there's any other. Oh, honestly, look at this. Like, you know, it'd be really cool. Change the knife. Give people different knives that you can use.
Yeah,
That
there
would
you
be
go.
cool.
Now you're
Instead of
talking.
everyone with the shovels, like
Now
get
you're
like
fucking talking.
actually like officer knives or something like that. That would be super cool.
Yeah.
Like this, like you just have just different engravings and stuff on the gun. Like, look at that. I mean, you know, soldiers engraved shit on their gun all the time. Like you know, that's it. Like different stuff. I mean, I think that would be really, really neat and would just add a little more class.
If you want to
Yeah,
talk about a way to get people to keep playing, I think that's the way.
need a golden Luger though. I want notches on my gun. That's what I'm saying, Maddie. Like,
Dude, I want fucking tally marks on my tank barrels, so
exactly.
get with me on that.
My dream is to have like our Sherman with our names on the, you know, that would be cool. That would
That'd
be
be
the
pretty cool.
coolest Easter
Yeah,
egg.
yeah.
Like apparently Nano, he has an Easter egg and it's like a 1 in 100 chance of an M1 Abrams
Mm,
in squad to have his name on the barrel.
that's
That would
pretty
be
cool.
pretty sweet, dude. Change the barrel names and stuff like that. Follow up, how many hours in length do you want the battle pass to be? Ooh, that's a good question.
Depends.
I
Me,
don't
I
know
don't
what the
know.
standard battle pass is. I'm not too familiar with
I
a
mean,
bunch of
they
battle
so they would
passes.
if they want to do it like I mean, usually the most common battle passes are done by like season or like a period of time. So
Maybe
I
like
don't know. I'm not a game
every
developer.
6 months or so.
Yeah, I mean, if they can ever get down to a consistent system,
I mean, it wouldn't take you 6 months. Like, I mean, it would take you
takes some
maybe like,
people. But, I mean, yeah,
yeah,
gameplay time. Yeah, I don't know.
I think you could finish
Uh,
it in a reasonable amount of time.
yeah, you want to make it so you keep coming back to the game between updates. That's the whole reason for it. Then you get
You,
rewarded for playing it.
you know what I don't think they should ever add? What I
Mm,
hated in Battlefield, like achievements and stuff. Some of the
yeah,
specific achievements where it's not gameplay related. It's like get 20 kills with a pistol, like shit like that, or like get
yeah, I hate
15
that.
kills with a knife. I think keep the achievements as is. Oh no, they weren't achievements. They were assignments. Remember, and it
Yeah.
gave you like bonus
And then you
XP
get
or
the
something like that.
currency and shit. Yeah, I hate
Yeah.
the whole current. Like,
No.
don't fuck around with this fake currency. What is this? I don't want to buy bits or whatever. I want just keep it to fucking dollars.
Yeah. Agreed.
I'm not trying to buy shit off the dark web here with crypto. I'm just trying to get a battle pass.
So people are asking us about Artie. So we were saying we were not gonna get into Artie because I think that's not necessarily a hot take.
I don't think that's a hot thing. Everyone agrees.
I
Fucking
think
get rid of it. Throw it out the door.
yeah, I think Artie is just agreed upon the entire community like to get rid
It's
of it.
dumb. Yep.
Yeah. Put your hot takes by the way in the chat. We'll read through them.
Yeah.
Make Artie destructible. Add mortars. I think just get rid of Artie. Yeah, and
Get
add
rid of it.
mortars. Want an actual hot take? You should be able to pick up fallen weapons.
Ooh. So like
Um.
specific to team or say like you're German and you pick up a fucking M1 Grand. Like, I mean,
hmm.
how does that work? I still think you should be able to collect ammo for your type of gun. Like, say if you're a rifleman using a car and an AT rocking a car dies, you should be able to pick up car ammo off that. But that just doesn't make sense to me that you can't
Is
do
it
that.
every weapon just like Germans did in World War II? I I don't know. I kind of
That's a
like
tough
being
one.
able to hear the different guns when I'm playing and
Gameplay would
know.
be chaotic as fuck.
Yeah, because you hear an
You could,
MP40, you know, as a
yeah,
German, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
that's not a bad guy, and then you run into him, and it is a bad guy. Like,
yeah.
I think everyone would just be taking guns. I
I
think
think so. I think it would get too much. Like if you're like behind enemy lines at all and you kill, you're German, you kill a guy with a Thompson, and you eventually just have a whole crew of dudes rocking
yeah,
Thompsons.
I think gameplay wise, it's very focused on. I love the hot takes. Keep putting your hot takes. We're gonna go through them. I think gameplay wise, I don't think it would play well, just because the game isn't
Yeah.
that big. like scale wise, and it's so centralized around audio. And like I know exactly what gun is shooting
Yeah, it might
immediately.
just get a little too wild. Like,
Yeah.
that's my only worry about it, is it's like, it might be a little too fucking
Keep
chaotic.
it that would be probably just too much.
Yeah.
I like the idea. I think maybe
I
getting
get
your
it.
friendlies gun, like if a friendly
Yeah.
dies with the Thompson and you have an M1, I think that would be cool. But
Yeah,
keep it
yeah.
within your faction would be my
Yeah.
thing. Um, be able to design your tank in the barracks and tank commanders determine how they look when entering vehicle. Dude,
Absolutely.
100% barracks, 100%. The tank
Here,
commander picks the
you
tank
want a hot
skin.
take? I'll go with a hot tank. The fucking idea of these developers working on having people be able to unbutton as a tank commander is a waste of time. I think that's a hot take. I don't think it's necessary for tank commanders to be able to unbutton. I think it's never going to be used. I think it's just a waste of development time for them to figure that out.
Like
And I
like the
Yeah,
hatch. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
dude.
I think the
I
hatch
think
is a
it's
little silly.
I think that's a hot take that people would want to hear from us. I think it's a big
Uh,
waste of time, and
I
then
would
people would.
say and another addition to that would be the postscriptum argument of like being able to pen through and kill someone in the
Oh yeah,
tank.
yeah.
I don't think that should ever come to Hell Loose. I
No,
don't think it works for Hell Loose, and it's
you're
just
adding more chores to the game at that point.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like
It's
it's not. It's
approachable realism. I
you're
think is what you got
taking
to be
away
think.
fun and adding chores to the game.
Yeah,
So it's like you don't want to do that.
like I know people in postscriptum that play and they hate it when that happens.
Yeah,
Like so,
yeah.
and
It's
you
just
don't
dumb.
change seats nearly as fast as you do in postscriptum at all.
Yeah,
It takes
yeah,
way longer in Hell Loose.
yeah.
Hot take: garrisons in the current form are poorly designed. Do
Yes.
you, do you
Well,
mean
not poorly designed, but they could be. I think you could change that in
does
some
he mean
ways.
like actual like the art of it, or does
Oh
he
well,
mean
I
the
don't
like
know.
the implementation? Give me
Yeah.
more clarification on that, Burnt. Because
I mean,
like
if I'm taking it as like spawn points, it's like, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I was fine with no red zone garrisons when we had with all these new additions of like fucking OPs and stuff. I don't know. Do you think red zone garrisons should be blocked? The way they
yeah,
are was 100
yeah,
meters.
I think
You
that's
think?
okay. Yeah, maybe make it to like 75 to 50. That would be
I think it
okay.
should be 50 and say fuck
Yeah.
it. Go back to the old
Um,
days.
Gary goes down way too fast and need to be closer. Yeah.
Oh,
I'll give
sorry.
you a hot take.
I got lit up for suggesting that one last time.
I'll give you a hot take. Don't limit where I can put garrisons. Why are
Oh,
some buildings
dude.
that I can put them in and
Yeah,
some
yeah,
I can't? Let me put it everywhere.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
like on squad, you can build entire fucking fortresses inside them. Let me do that. Like let me
I
go ahead
agree.
and bundle up a fucking
Yeah.
garrison inside of a building to just keep that push going, you know? I think that would be cool.
Yeah, I think they're too strict. Like, obviously, what is it? The American garrison you could build inside of, and then you could build a bunker
It's
around the
usually the
American garrison. Is it
German
the German? I can't
because
remember which one
yeah,
it is.
because the German
They
is tighter.
they need to encourage that more. They
Yeah,
need to
yeah,
design
yeah.
fortifications around that.
I would like that. I would like
Yeah,
that you could go ahead and do more like inside buildings or
yeah,
some
make your
fortifications
time worth
around
it.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I think
agree.
that'd be cool.
Mhm.
Liberator, thank you so much for the tier one. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for the sub. Welcome back. Hope you're doing good. We're doing hot takes. We're taking hot takes from the audience. We went through our hot takes. Um, where's that hot takes? Garrison, another hot take. There should be sharks with mountain MGs on Omaha U.S. offensive.
No, it's gotta be laser
Agreed.
beams. Sharks with
Th-
laser beams on their
That's
head.
actually Smoggles. That's included in the battle pass.
We're not
Actually,
settling for MGs. I want sharks with laser beams on their head.
that's included in the battle pass. You can put a skin on the shark too. Hot
Yeah.
take: make all maps historically locked so you can only use vehicles and weapons from that. I don't think it's a hot take. I think it's a great idea, Kirk. And I think that's something that they did mention in the original roadmap was that they want something similar like Postscriptum, where if that faction fought there, like that's the weapons and vehicles they had. I think at the moment the game is so high level World War II that it can't get as specific. But I would love to have very specific tanks and vehicles per map that were there in the battle. I think that is a very, very nice take, to be honest. Barracks hot take with the way the game is currently played, give all loadouts significantly less ammo to force the need for ammo crates and drops to be more significant.
Yeah, I'd agree, but
Yeah,
at the same time, the whole lack of ticket system, it's like it's going back to the AT talk where it's like you just go die. You know, it's like you don't. It's a hard one. Hell Loose's greatest features make it the worst game at the same time.
yeah. I will say, like, as the medic, I can definitely notice the ammo, like
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. It's
So
very rare when you run out of ammo in this
I don't
game.
know. I think maybe like a middle ground of where you're
Yeah.
at now versus where you could be. I think that would be a
Yeah,
very
you have to
good take.
incentivize it somehow, and that's the hardest thing, whether it be like XP or I don't fucking know, dude. Something. Gotta put the battle pass in so you want to get XP to use it. It all comes back to the battle pass, I'm telling you.
Ooh, Maddie has a really good hot take. You ready for this
Here,
one?
yeah, go
Hot
for it.
take. People will like the new game mode. That is a
I think
spicy
someone.
hot take.
I don't yeah, I don't think it's the wrong one. I think some people like it. People like everything. I think more people won't like it than like it, but I think some people like it.
Yeah. I I'm going to be open to playing it,
Yeah.
but I think like I think Will and Terry, I think Terry mentioned it too. Like I respect what it's gonna be, but it's not
Mhm.
the reason why I play Hell Loose. I think that's how
Yeah,
they worded
correct.
it. I would agree entirely.
They have to
Um,
fix they have to not I guess fix and change a lot of other things for that mode to be really enjoyable for a mass audience.
yeah, I don't know. Flamethrower needs suppression. I think the flamethrower needs just Here's a hot take: give the flamethrower twice the distance of effectiveness.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe like a couple more meters. No, like I used it enough now. Like I've used it for probably like 50 hours at least. Double the fucking distance. The thing's garbage. It's so bad. Like they
It's fun to
say,
use though. I mean,
dude,
it's not
it's
good, but it's fun.
terrible. It's so
I think
bad.
it's fun. It's not
It's
good, but it's fun.
it's about 25-meter effectiveness, but in
Mhm.
reality, it's only 10-meter effectiveness, and then like 25, 15, or like it's like 10 to like 25 meters. It's just like burns you
Well,
for a second,
and it
doesn't
still
do
has the
damage.
dumb like ADS wait time.
Yeah.
It just needs to be like go
Yeah,
go
like
go.
no
So
no ADS. Like make
yeah,
that thing where you can just shoot that, double the
yeah.
distance, and that's it. Like I mean, it's just terrible. Also, like I don't know if they ever fixed it. I know I reported it, but when you shoot people with it, they just glitch and are just like unlimited running. You have to
I
pull
would
your
hope that's
pistol and shoot
fixed.
them. I
I
don't
would
know.
hope
I
that's
haven't used
fixed.
it, but
I haven't checked in a
it
while.
was terrible. It
Yeah.
double the distance, bro. It's bad. It's fucking bad. Um, let's see. Another hot take. Hot take. Don't limit support player boxes. Leave a cooldown. Yeah, I
Yeah,
would agree
I
with
agree.
that. I think
Ban 'em.
the limit is kind of annoying, to be honest,
Yeah.
especially
I
when you're
the
trying to build like bunkers and stuff. I think
Well,
that
the whole
mechanic's kind
cooldown
of
was
silly.
because we got tired of us shooting each other in the faces, right? Because it used to be like you just drop your supplies, shoot each other in the face,
Did they stay
redeploy.
there before?
I mean, that's the no, but that's like how you were fucking
Oh
getting through
yeah,
it. Yeah, you just got through it that quickly. So it was like you could build stuff real quick and then drop them immediately afterwards. So I think that's a better. I mean, it's like fuck it, just if you're gonna have a cooldown, you might as well let people drop multiple.
yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I don't know. Oh, I'll give you a hot take from Gritson because this is Gritson's like biggest hot take. Gritson, I don't know if you're out there. Flamethrowers should damage
Stop. No,
tanks.
so wrong.
That's
Get out of here.
I don't think so. I don't think so. But that is a very hot take that I don't agree with, but he
Too
is
much
dead
AT.
set. He's dead
Way
set on it.
way too much AT and hell loose. It's
Could
just
you
too much at that point. That's 4 rolls out of
It's
6
so
seconds.
much. I will
You're
say
gonna yeah.
I think they should kill the half tracks and vehicles faster. That I do
Yeah,
think because it takes like 98% of your entire tank to kill it.
yeah.
But yeah, man. Hot take: the grease gun needs to go. No one carried it on the battlefield. It was a tanker
Grease
weapon.
gun needs to go to the tankers. I think give the crew in the grease gun. Fuck it. It's already not a good gun. You might as well help them out a little bit.
Hot take: there hasn't been a good new map since the new SMDM. I hate
Mm,
SMDM. I think that was a bad map,
I think
and
Kharkov's pretty good.
I think Kharkov is pretty good. I think Drill.
Drill's fun. I haven't played it enough to like really form an opinion
Yeah,
even to this day.
I think the thing is, whenever I played Drill, it was prior to this patch that that fixed the British, and I think that was a huge factor about Drill for me was that if you played as the British, like you would have to always play defensively. You
Yeah.
couldn't be aggressive with the British. So I'd maybe have to try to play it again, but Kharkov is impossible to move anywhere unless playing armor though.
Mm,
I don't. I feel like I've had some pretty good flanks as infantry before.
That center lane is fucking fun to fight over as infantry.
Yeah. Hot take. I love Remagen. Woo.
That is a hot pick.
That is a very hot take.
Hmm.
Um, I want to poll that actually. I'm gonna poll that in the chat. Let me know. I'm gonna make a poll. Do you like?
I feel like a lot of people say like I haven't played Ramog in a while, then they play it and they're like, oh my god, this is terrible.
I'm gonna do a poll in
Me
chat.
every
Let
time
me
at least.
know. Vote in chat whether you like Remagen or not. I will say, like, I've had some good maps. I think my like or love for Remagen comes solely dependent on what the objective is. If it is the
Yeah,
bridge, yes. If it is
yeah,
not, no. Period.
yeah.
Like that's it.
It's a shame
Also,
too. That map,
Artie, like
either side of that
Artie's
map has
terrible.
some of the best points in all of Hell Loose too, which is a real shame.
Yeah. Like I think the map is a good looking map. I think
Either
it
side of that
plays
map is
good.
really fun.
Yeah, but
Like it's the middle
it's
points
just
just
not
ruin it.
good. I'll be
Yeah,
playing Remagen at 4 a.m. Whoa, dude, f that.
gross.
Like if it
Yeah.
didn't have any arty, and if the point was always the middle point, I think that map would be great. That's what I think.
It'd be okay.
Purple Heart Lane is great. I would agree with that. I like
Yeah, I
Purple
agree
Heart
with that. I
Lane.
fucking love Purple Heart Lane.
It's funny. We spoke about this a while ago,
Yeah.
and I did get a lot of hate for that as well. That I was like, I like Purple Heart Lane, but I kind of went into like the fact that people are always saying, I want a realistic map. I want like Hallelujah to be as realistic as
Yeah, dude. No,
possible.
you don't. No,
And
you
then
don't.
it was like something like 80% of the community voted for Purple Heart Lane to be redone when Purple Heart Lane is one of the most accurate maps like
Yeah,
out
and people
there.
hate playing on Kursk too, and that's one of the most accurate
Yeah.
maps. It's
Like
like you don't
it's
want a
literally
realistic map. You want a
it's
map based on realism.
like the only thing that's really not realistic about Purple Heart Lane is like two things. One, the bases, like the HQs, are closer in game than they are in real life.
Hmm.
And then two, the middle doesn't have hedges all the way down the middle road. Like it is open in real life, so it's just an open fucking swamp with one road in the middle. That's what Purple Heart Lane really
Yep.
is. Like that's all it is. And people hate it, but then they're also like, I want more realistic maps. It's like, what? What the? What the
People
fuck?
don't know what they want with Hella Loose, and that's just like how it goes.
Um, I play it constantly on Xbox, not by choice, obviously. Remagen, poor
Oof,
poor
Xbox is
console.
rough, dude.
Remagen on the hill is fun. I like Remagen if you have smart commanders who use airheads and supplies. So Kirk, I would say that that's not a consistent experience though. Like to say you have a smart commander can be easily countered by just having a smart enemy team. Like
Hmm.
that's my experience on our server specifically with Remagen because you can have a smart team that plays, but it doesn't matter because like
If
at
you
the
have a
end of the
team that
day,
looks up, like you hear it playing and it's not yours, just look up and it's like
like all you have to
you're
do is
good.
just have a light tank guarding the end of the way
Mhm.
with a garrison there. And that's it. And that's all you like. It doesn't matter what you do. If you run a bombing run through airstrikes, it doesn't matter if you have one person sitting there, one person can just shoot it and kill that airhead. That's all it takes every time. So that's one thing I wouldn't agree with necessarily. Just because it just doesn't matter if you have a good commander or not. It really comes down to like the enemy team. Are they paying attention or are they not? That's all it is. Um, as a tanker, Remagen is fun. As the allies, it's because it's a challenge, and as the Axis, it's fun because of the 1K meter kills. Dude, I took a Danny Art tanking on Remagen. Oh my god, he was arcing that shit like crazy.
Yeah, those shots get wild.
Yeah. Oh, here's a good one. So Fresh, I'll let you answer this. Should the Panther go back to being a medium tank?
Um, I think that'd be I think that'd be a lazy fix to fix the current issues with the Panther. I think honestly, the Panthers reload speed just needs to be adjusted, number one. And that I mean, goddamn, I could talk about it's one of those things where hell it lose. It's like you can't just change one thing to fix everything. Um, I think they would have to change the reload speed for the Panthers, equal it out, and then also either change the mobility on the Panther specifically. I would say slow the turn speed on it, make it so keep the same top speed so it can dart, but make it so you can't fucking turn in that. And it should be really bad in first gear. It should not be able to turn. If they want to make the Panther an attacking tank, they have to double down on that and make it have some sort of negative aspect to it, to where it's like if you want to play it aggressively, that's what it's going to be good at. But the moment you stop, you're fucked. So I think that's where they should go with the Panther.
Yeah, I think the idea of the Firefly is an interesting one. Where the Firefly is kind of in between the Panther and like a medium tank. Wow,
Yeah,
57% by the way, like Remagen. Maybe
I
we
don't
need to
believe
have
you.
it
I don't
be
believe any of you. You're all liars.
okay.
You like
So
Remaga until you're getting RD'd 50
it's
times on a
confirmed.
fucking
The
raid.
community voted. We're running
Nope,
24/7 Remagen in the
you're all
Saucy
liars.
moment.
You're all liars. Wait
um,
till you get that post Remagan clarity, and
I
then you're never
know.
gonna want to play it again.
Every time. But
Hmm.
I think like so the Firefly is an interesting tank because it kind of fits a role of like a tank destroyer in a sense. If they increase the mobility to where it's a medium tank body and like medium tank mobility rather than like the original
Hmm.
like old M4 mobility, keep it where it's at. Um I think that it would be really interesting to drive because you would drive it and fight like a tank destroyer, have to flank, and that kind of goes to the weak spots. Like it's a kind of like a heavy tank because it has weak spots in the front, right?
Dude,
But
I almost
that would
suggested
make it
you.
interesting.
You saw the document that we're gonna talk about eventually about
Oh
tanks, right? Like
yeah,
I don't know if you looked through that. I almost suggested we do this whole episode on that. So it's like
yeah,
I want to sit here and talk about like so basically the bottom line with the tanking and the Panther is so many things need to be changed with how it was tanking.
yeah,
And there needs to be I mean it's so Hell Loose is painting itself in the corner. There's tiers, but they're a little bit too symmetrical. They need to be asymmetrical. I think Hell Loose tanking is a great thing. They just need to add more depth to it and everything. Instead of just changing these little things here and there, they need to change everything. Because see what happened with the Panthers, they changed one thing on one tank and it fucked everything up. So
yeah.
they can't keep doing that. They have to change everything all at once.
I think they need to
Um,
do a thing similar to Postscriptum where they do an armor rework, and it is
yeah,
just a full rework of all the
they can't
armor.
do it like Scriptum is my argument to that.
No, no,
Like
no. I
Thor.
agree. I agree. Like make it approachable,
Mhm.
realistic, but have it to where the tanks are all viable at
Yeah,
their roles. Like
yeah.
that's the key. Like
So there's tons of things they can change. So first off, they need to tighten up hit boxes across the board, make angling actually matter. They need to bring in range and velocity. I think would be a big one as far as ammo types goes between tanks. So it's not just all the same damage from all the same range between these fucking tiers of tanks. And then also they need to change around ammo count. So we all gripe about how the 76 has like no AP and a bunch of HE. They need to make these tanks more specific. It's like, okay, you want the Panther to be a tank hunter? Well, then it has say, reduce the HE on it. Make it just have a certain amount of AP. So if they do that, they can there's little things here and there they could do between all these tanks without fucking just changing one thing at a time and keeping
yeah,
within the Hell Loose boundaries that can really, really improve Hell Loose tanking. But like I said, they need to do it all at once. Otherwise, it's just going to make things worse.
I would agree. I think just keep it again like easy, approachable so anyone can jump in and anyone can kill tanks.
Yeah.
But maybe just more role specific. Like that's kind of
Hmm.
what Terry just said. So how about we get rid of the light, medium, heavy tank labels? I think they still need to be light, medium, heavy because that's
Yeah,
like
those
what they're
gotta be tiers.
classified.
You have to with the fuel meta. That's just the way
But
it works.
like in like the war, like they are
Yeah.
classified as that. So I think keep
Yeah.
that, but make each tank perform closely how it should. So like have them more role specific, like an
Yeah.
infantry fighting vehicle, like a
Yeah. Yeah.
armor, a tank killer, or whatever the case
Mhm.
is. I think that would be a good way to kind of balance it because if you get a heavy, like a tank destroyer on the field, then you can roll it up with, say, your 75 jumbo and it has, say, bigger HE, which it
Yeah.
doesn't, but it totally should. And that
Yeah.
could just be your thing that just breaks through the friendly lines or enemy lines with infantry. And then, you have the tank destroyer there just in case, or vice versa, right?
Yeah. Because right now it's
Um,
very much one tank solves all problem. If they
yeah.
have multiple tanks solving different problems, I think that'd be fucking cool.
Yeah, and then promote more tank like coordination as well. Right now, it's like you get a light tank and that bitch just goes, or like it doesn't
Yeah, I mean,
matter.
that's all
There's
you can
no
do in it.
support.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's such, and we've seen it on the stream a couple of times. It's such a rare sight that you see like two heavies next to each other. It's like, oh my god, there's a
Mhm.
tiger and a panther. We need more of that moment. Like
Yeah, dude.
more of that like crazy moment. And then vice versa, right? Like the infantry, like have them be able to go ahead and have some viable strategy against it too. Like I think there
Yeah.
needs to be a good tug of war, but
Yeah, and
um
just to give everyone a heads up, like Raz and I like we got some shit to talk about with this, like
yeah,
very, very in depth that we're like we're gonna put together a pitch basically and
yeah.
throw it online to see what people think about. And it's like I think a lot of people will like it.
But just high level, I would
Mhm.
agree with you guys. Like there needs to just be a full armor rework. We'll get
Yeah.
into specifics in that video, but like full armor rework needs to happen for
Yeah.
sure.
Mhm.
Liberator has a good one. They should add the vehicles that can go on water for Remagen and for Americans. So kind of like they can just go in, like float in the water and then go over, kind of like some sort of LAV, I don't know, some sort of infantry vehicle or whatever. I think that'd be good, like some
Yeah.
sort of transport. I think it'd be nice. Honestly, that would help Remagen. That Remagen needs all the help possible. Hot take: Hill 400 and Hurricane Forest are the best maps in the game. That is one of the hottest takes I have ever
What do
heard.
you just really like trees? I like really like the woods.
I
There's
Yeah,
no
dude,
way
that is
that's
a
the best map
hot
in the game.
take. Oh my god. I think that's like Hill 400. I think is like Saucy's favorite map, right?
Oh god, he had a tough time out yesterday with me. That
Good.
shit sucked. Yeah.
That map
brought him back
sucks.
brought him back down to reality.
I will say, like, I've had some good games on Hill 400, but like, I will say every good game I've had on Hill 400 is one that I win. I think what determines for me like a good map
Oh man, you
is
need two
a
really good teams on Hill 400 for it to be fun. Is the thing. You need
yeah.
two very good teams.
Like what determines a good map for me is a map that you can move around a lot and a map that even if I lose, I still can have fun on it.
Yeah.
And I feel like Carentan is that map for me. That Carentan, I can always move wherever I want to go, flank around, huge risk reward. I know Raz hates them. Well, I hate those maps. Um, and something that fits the play style of like hit and run. I hate, and that's why kind of your first thing about Kursk, like with the tanks, you just sit there. I like Kursk for the first couple times, and then I was just like, oh, all right, here we go. I'm just gonna take windmills, and I'm just gonna hold here the whole game, So I don't know, not my favorite. Um, make the rangefinders accurate. That I can agree with. IFVs and
Absolutely.
Hell Loose, I'm down. I haven't had enough time in the recon and light to give it a fair review, but I'm a big fan of light in the game, except the Lukes because it sucks at everything. The Lukes get
Oh
so
yeah,
much hate.
Luke sees so much love, dude. I don't know why they ever reduced the splash damage on that. That's
Yeah,
fucking dumb.
it's pretty bad.
The Lukes had one job to do, and they said you're not doing it anymore. They just took it away for some reason. The
I
Lukes
don't
was
know.
never good. It was just fun and like useful. Now it's just kind of like you just jump a fucking berm and spin
it-
out.
it's kind of like a heavily armored recon vehicle. That's all it is. Like
I
that's
mean, I guess at least the recon vehicle, if you come across a medium, you can kill it.
so silly. It's so
Yeah,
bad. It's
it's a
just
garrison hunter. That's it. That's all
that
it's good for is shooting
yeah,
spawns.
literally.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, any other hot takes? I think we had some hot takes, and I'm sure we're gonna be canceled for it, but I'm okay with that. I've
I
I've
don't
been
care.
canceled a couple times already. I think the battle pass was
Sealed us off on that one,
that
dude.
was a that was a hot take if
I
I've
don't
ever heard
care.
it. Oh
Everyone,
my god.
it's hey, you can't just don't fight the things you love. It's like people want to unlock shit. You just gotta accept it.
That was a
It's like
really hot take. I don't think I've heard a hotter take. But I mean, when I said it too, like the one stream, I think was it Bill was giving me beef for it immediately. Pretty sure. I can't remember. But yeah, hot takes. All right, guys. I think that'll do her for our weekly episode of the RazCast. Again, we have some great stuff coming down the line for the RazCast, so please make sure you stay tuned. Check
big
out the
things.
Discord if you haven't. Yeah, some like really huge stuff,
Yeah,
like
please.
really
Stuff
big stuff.
stuff we wish we could say to come back for, but like,
Yes.
please, there's some
Make
big
sure,
shit coming.
yeah, make sure you stay tuned. Of course, this will be up on YouTube. This will be up in Spotify as well. Check out the Discord. Check out Fresh Baked Goods, of course. And we'll be right back with some hella loose here in just a few minutes after the short break of Words with Friends.
Bye.
Right back. Bye.